1953. West Germany announces a closed military tender. The Bundeswehr, the country's new army, does not officially exist yet, but it already needs vehicles. Several serious manufacturers enter the competition. Even Porsche presents its own machine, a vehicle engineers consider almost perfect. Porsche loses. Instead, the contract goes to a little-known company, using a two-stroke engine borrowed from a civilian sedan, and that strange little vehicle would go on to become one of the main utility trucks of the early Bundeswehr. Later, the Munga would appear in the armies of other NATO countries as well, from the Netherlands to Britain. Its name was DKW Munga, a small, strange off-roader that smoked, buzzed loudly, and sounded more like a military motorcycle than a car. If you know the Audi logo, the four rings, this strange little vehicle has a direct connection to it. And honestly, when I first came across this vehicle, I couldn't understand why so few people ever talk about it. DKW at the time was a company with a long pre-war history, one of the four brands that made up the old Auto Union group. After the war, everything had to be rebuilt from scratch inside empty military barracks in Ingolstadt. In many ways, the company was starting over. But DKW had kept the two things that mattered most: its name and its experience with two-stroke engines. And now this modest manufacturer was going up against Porsche. For the tender, Porsche introduced the Jagdwagen, literally the hunting car. Independent suspension, portal-style axles, an engine derived from the legendary 356. Technically, it was one of the most advanced vehicles in the competition. And most people assumed Porsche would win. DKW offered the opposite, an off-road vehicle based on an existing civilian sedan. The same simple two-stroke engine, the same gearbox. Minimal new components, maximum proven reliability. After a series of off-road trials in mud and heavy rain, DKW won. Why? Porsche simply couldn't produce thousands of vehicles per year. The company didn't have the manufacturing capacity, and the unit cost was too high for a military budget. DKW didn't win because its vehicle was technically superior. It won because it could build a dependable machine at scale, and at a price the army could actually afford. The gap tells the whole story. Porsche built just 71 Jagdwagens. DKW built nearly 47,000 Mungas. Porsche didn't lose because the vehicle was inferior. It lost because it was too good for the army. And honestly, that might be the strangest sentence you can say about Porsche. Serial production begins in 1956. The official designation is F91 Quarters, a name almost nobody remembers. But in 1962, the vehicle finally gets the name that sticks, Munga. It's an acronym: Mehrzweck Universal Geländewagen MIT Allradantrieb, multi-purpose universal off-road vehicle with four-wheel drive. But there's another interpretation too. In German, Mungo means mongoose, the small, agile animal that survives where much larger predators can't. Under the hood sits a two-stroke three-cylinder engine, initially 896 cc and 40 horsepower, later updated to 980 cc and up to 55 horsepower, modest by any standard. But that was exactly the point. At high revs, the Munga sounded more like a large military motorcycle than a car. And because it ran on a petrol oil mixture, it left a distinctive trail of blue smoke behind it. All four wheels could pull at the same time. An 8-speed setup built around a 3-speed gearbox and a dual-range transfer case gave the Munga an ultra-low crawling mode at just 3 kilometers per hour. That meant slopes of up to a 70% grade, water crossings up to half a meter deep, and the ability to go places where much larger, more powerful vehicles simply got stuck. Curb weight, just over a ton. Top speed, 95 kilometers per hour. 3 body styles: an open utility vehicle, a short pickup, and a long pickup. In other words, the same basic machine adapted for completely different jobs. There was almost nothing unnecessary on the Munga, no complicated systems, only what actually mattered, and what a mechanic could repair in the field with a basic toolkit. The Bundeswehr was officially established in 1955. And the Munga quickly became one of its first standard vehicles, not just another military truck, but one of its primary light utility vehicles for reconnaissance and patrol units. The scale of orders speaks for itself. Thousands of vehicles for the Bundeswehr, around 2,000 for the Dutch Army. The Munga also served with the British Berlin Brigade and with NATO units across Central Europe. For armies looking for something simple, affordable, and easy to maintain without complicated logistics, the Munga fit the role perfectly. But it was in Berlin that the Munga's story took on a very particular symbolism. In the divided city, DKW Munga drove on the western side of the wall with Bundeswehr and Allied units. On the eastern side were two-stroke Wartburgs from East Germany, two vehicles, two opposing worlds, and both descended from the same pre-war DKW engineering traditions, split apart along with Germany itself after 1945. One half of that technology went west, the other remained in the east. One pre-war idea, two opposing blocks, and a wall between them. But the Munga wasn't remembered only for military service. It quickly became clear that this strange little machine was capable of far more than patrols across Central Europe. And one story showed that especially well. 1959. The driver is 63 years old. Her name is Ilse Thuray, a former athlete, motorcycle racer, and journalist. And then she gets behind the wheel of a near-standard DKW Munga and drives from Tangier to Cape Town. 17,000 kilometers, the Sahara, Nigeria, the Belgian Congo, Rhodesia, deserts, jungles, swamps, and almost no proper roads at all. She made it, and honestly, that's the part that really stayed with me. 63 years old. Africa, a small two-stroke Munga. This wasn't a publicity stunt. It was a real-world test. And the Munga survived it. By the mid-1960s, the two-stroke engine had become a liability. The market wanted refinement, comfort, and power. DKW no longer fit the times. Sales were falling. In 1964, Volkswagen acquired Auto Union and made a decision. The DKW brand would disappear. In its place, they revived an older name, Audi. Same factory in Ingolstadt. Same four rings, but a new engine, a new car, and a new beginning. The DKW F102 became the Audi F103, the first modern Audi. The Munga outlasted its own brand. Production continued until December 1968, already under Volkswagen control. In total, nearly 47,000 were built. And interestingly enough, long before the Quattro made Audi famous, this same factory was already building four-wheel drive vehicles. Different technology, different era, but the same basic idea. All four wheels working together. The Munga never became an icon the way the Jeep or Land Rover did. It simply drove and did its job. Across the Sahara, through the streets of divided Berlin, in places where much larger vehicles simply gave up. All of it, in a machine that beat Porsche by being simple. And honestly, I'm curious, what overlooked vehicle do you think deserves its own documentary story? Let me know in the comments.